As we gear up for Captain America, Brave New World, let's dive on into Captain America, the Winter Soldier, the film that introduced us to Sam Wilson.
I do what he does, just slower.
In this video, we'll uncover hidden Easter eggs and behind-the-scenes secrets you missed. Be sure to stick around until the end of the video to get a complete breakdown of all the crazy cameos. You won't believe some of the ones they snuck in there. We love a good callback. When we first meet Sam Wilson, the scene starts off with Steve saying,
"On your left. On your left.
Don't say it. Don't you say
On
it.
your left.
Come on!
and at the end of the movie, when Sam is sitting next to Steve in the hospital, he brings it back.
On your left."
But this wasn't the last time it was said either. In Endgame, when Sam comes back from the snap, his first words are,
On your left.
and to top it all off, in Steve and Sam's final scene together in Endgame, Sam approaches Steve on his left. It's interesting to note that the phrase was originally used by Steve when he kept passing Sam, but transitions to Sam being the one on the left, symbolizing he's now passing Steve and taking on the mantle of Captain America.
How does it feel?
Like it's someone else's.
It isn't.
Steve has a list of all the things he's missed in the last 70 years,
I'll put it on the list.
but did you know that the list actually changes depending on what country you watch it in? Now, all versions do share a few of the same things, like Thai food, Rocky, and Star Wars/Star Trek. But other options, like Steve Jobs and the moon landing, are replaced. In the UK, it's the Beatles, Sir Sean Connery, and Sherlock. In Australia, AC/DC and Steve Irwin, great choice. South Korea has Dance Dance Revolution, and Latin America has Shakira. But going back to the US version of things he missed, Steve's list includes the moon landing. Now, here's an interesting twist from the comics. A popular Marvel comic book storyline is House of M. It takes place in an alternate reality where Magneto and mutants rule the Earth. But another big change in this reality is that Steve Rogers was never frozen. He not only lived through World War II and the years afterward, but went on to become an astronaut. And in 1955, he became the first man to walk on the moon. I swear, Marvel movies are on another level when it comes to little Easter eggs like this. Even the fact that they had Star Wars on the list was a subtle reference. Because, as it happens, almost every movie in Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe has an homage to Star Wars. And it's the same one in each movie. Can you guess what it is? During any action or combat scene, Steve relies solely on his shield. In fact, throughout the whole movie, he never fires a single gun. This decision is a testament to his core principles as a soldier. Even in the elevator scene, he knows these people are here to attack him, but still he offers them the choice.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Oftentimes in movies, a composer will create a theme song of sorts for a character, a subtle way to announce their presence and let the audience know what's coming up. Bucky's theme as the Winter Soldier is particularly haunting. You might think it's just a jolting, scratchy wail, but actually, the Winter Soldier's theme is a distorted version of Bucky's scream from when he falls off the train to his supposed death in the first movie.
Grab my hand!
Though he can't remember at the time, it shows that Bucky is continually haunted by the echoes of what happened that day. Sticking with the topic of music, and moving on to a slightly lighter note, get it? Note? Like music? I'm funny. The music that Fury plays when he sneaks into Steve's apartment is actually used in another important scene in a different Marvel movie.
My wife kicked me out.
The song is called It's Been a Long, Long Time, and was very popular after World War II amongst soldiers returning home from war. And it's the same song that Peggy and Steve dance to in the last scene of Avengers Endgame, when they're reunited once more, and Steve too has finally returned from war. When the helicarriers are revealed for the first time, Fury mentions to Captain America that Stark insisted on making changes to the propulsion system once he got a closer look. In the Avengers movie, Iron Man struggled to restart the damaged propeller-based engines of the helicarrier, so the new ones use a repulsor technology instead of propeller to create lift. I'm sure the fact that he got dinged up a bit by them had a hand in his decision too. A closer look indeed, Fury. At the end of the movie, Nick Fury's grave bears the epitaph, "The Path of the Righteous Man, Ezekiel 25:17. This is a favorite line of Jules Winfield, played by Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction, which is a cool nod until you realize that it's not the correct Bible verse. The real text of Ezekiel 25:17 in the Bible reads as follows: "And I will execute great vengeance upon them with furious rebukes, and they shall know that I am the Lord, when I shall lay my vengeance upon them." Apparently, Pulp Fiction created the wrong quote to show that Samuel L. Jackson's character isn't as religious as he'd like to believe. Which, I mean, yeah, dude's a hitman in that. At the beginning of the movie, we get an amazing action scene that's kick-started by Captain America jumping out of a plane without bothering to use a parachute.
Is he wearing a parachute?
No. No, he wasn't.
This is actually an homage to a similar scene from the first issue of the Ultimates comic. Also, less of an homage and more of a direct adaptation is this scene where Captain America fights the Winter Soldier, only to realize that it's his old friend Bucky.
Bucky? Who the hell is Bucky?
Such a cool scene. By the way, if you want to dive deeper into the Marvel comics we're talking about, check out the links in the description below to grab your copies now. There will never be another cameo that comes close to the excitement you would feel anytime Stan Lee appeared on screen. But there are certainly still some fun ones that appear throughout The Winter Soldier. First off, we have the Avengers director, Joss Whedon, then one of this movie's directors, Joe Russo, and the screenwriters. But one of the coolest cameos was by this guy. He may play a scientist who's there to keep the Winter Soldier under control, but in reality, he's actually one of the co-creators of the Winter Soldier character, comic book writer Ed Brubaker. And it's just such a great nod to have the person responsible for creating the character in the comics to be there as one of the ones responsible for creating the Winter Soldier in the movie. But don't go thinking it was just the crew and writers making cameos. There's actually a few comic book characters you might have missed too. This character makes a quick but memorable appearance during that awesome opening action scene. He is known as Batroc the Leaper. Batroc is a highly skilled mercenary with an acrobatic fighting style known for his signature move, the Leap. In the comics, Batroc was a recurring enemy of Captain America. He may not have had a huge part in the movie, but his inclusion is certainly a fun Easter egg for comic book fans. And he's not the only comic book antagonist that makes an appearance. When we first meet Brock Rumlow in the movie, it seems like he's just another SHIELD soldier. Seeming to be on Steve's side in the beginning, we quickly learn that Brock stands with Hydra. At the end of the movie, we see him injured and being worked on in a hospital. But he makes a brief return in Civil War in his full comic book persona, Crossbones, one of the enemies of Captain America. Fun fact, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, is Chris Evans' favorite Marvel movie. This last one is a little random, but I thought it was cool, so I'm putting it in. Hopefully you thought it was cool too. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and then I'll keep making more videos like this. Thanks, bye!